We're joined now by Kerry Katona, who loves a drink at the airport, and former flight attendant Charlene Davis, who wants a complete ban. And welcome to both of you. So if you just look at some of the statistics, Ryanair flight from Dublin to Ibiza earlier this month became highly disrupted and the plane was diverted to Paris over to safety concerns. 3 passengers had been drinking before the flight. This week, a different airline, Jet2, Birmingham to Ibiza, had to be diverted to Toulouse because of aggressive behaviour on board the plane. This was caused by a group of 27 men on a stag do. The number of passengers arrested for drunken behaviour, 50% increase since 2017. So Charlene, for you, I mean, you were a hostess between 1999 and 2005. You're calling for a complete ban on this.
Well, I do think something needs to be, brought into place because this is getting such a common problem, and so many airlines are having passengers that are inebriated. And the CAA actually states that passengers that are drunk should not board an aircraft.
Right.
So that is not actually happening, is it? Because this is over and over again with passengers just misbehaving, thinking they've got the right to just get drunk because they're on a stag do, they're on a hen do. They're entitled. They're not entitled. This is putting people's safety at risk.
27 men on a stag do diverting the plane. People actually being assaulted.
Something should be done regards to that. I don't bring some kind of breathalyzing or something like that.
They've got to bring breathalyzing
in. But for me, when my holiday starts in the airport with the girls.
That's not unreasonable at all. I think at that time in the morning, at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I want coffee. I don't know about you guys, but drink is not my main priority when I'm going on holiday.
When I'm going away on holiday, and even if it's 7 o'clock flight in the morning, I think the first thing we all do is...
No, we don't all want to drink.
Well, most of us gravitate towards the bar.
Is this a British thing?
I think
it's a very British thing. I still travel all around the world, and I see this over and over again. It's the British that seem to have this drink culture that every time they get to an airport, doesn't matter about the safety or the consideration of other passengers.
No, I get that. I do get that.
Let's get drunk.
I get that. Now, for me, I don't drink at home. So when I do finally get to go away without my children, I guess we have a tendency, and I'll hold my hands up, I probably indulge a little bit too much on getting in the airport, getting a drink down my neck and getting the party
But the trouble is, yes, in the airport it can be dealt with.
Yeah.
And the police can be called, and if it got rowdy, the police could be called, and you wouldn't be allowed on the flight. Once you are on the flight, once you have taken off, then there's major passenger safety to be taken into consideration. The plane then has to divert, and that screws up everybody's holiday.
And it has a knock-on effect for all the other flights.
And you have been assaulted yourself.
Several times, in fact. When I first started flying, I had one passenger. This is all drinking incidents that happened before they got onto the aircraft. So they were drinking a lot before they got on the airline. The first incident was a woman. She tried to strangle me onto the descent into Gatwick.
That wasn't me, by the way. Let me just clarify that.
No, it wasn't. I will just back that up. It wasn't you. The second time was actually football fans. We actually had to Mayday. They punched me. I got punched. They'd been drinking when they but before they got on the flight. They were bloodied and bruised when they got on the flight. So the ground staff could have nipped this in the bud to stop this happening.
I get that. I absolutely get that. But banning it completely, maybe in the airport itself, take control of the situation. Maybe get a token before you go to a bar, and you're only allowed 2 drinks per person. That I think's reasonable. But rather than banning it completely,
people can drink on the way to the airport. That's the problem. Well, they can be on the train, on the bus.
You can't
police it.
You can't.
So just to wrap up here, and we did a poll here: should airports be banned from selling alcohol? Yes, say 34%. No, say 66%.
Which is the drink culture that we have.
In our last few seconds, is this the response? Should this begin really with a much greater responsibility to the airport before everyone gets on the plane?
Absolutely. The ground staff should be looking out for people that are acting erratically. The stag do's, the hen do's, they should be monitored more, because at the end of the day, like I say, once they're up in the air and they're on that aeroplane, they're endangering everybody. And people that are in the public eye, especially, I'm not just knocking you, but should be a bit more responsible, because you're like leading the way, going, oh, this is the way we can do it.
You get the last 10 seconds.
No, I think public eye, no public eye. I'm like everybody else. I want to go drink on my holiday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.